Hey, so this is the my ex comeback readings for the earth signs of Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I will read in that order. I apologise if I start having a coughing fit. I keep going into coughing fits for absolutely no reason. I'm sure these things don't help me. Okay, so we'll do Taurus first. Is my ex coming back? Will my ex return? Okay, so we've got the Two of Swords here wanting to show its face. I don't know if you're still in communication with this person or whether you are on a break. It feels like maybe it was discussed that you were going to be on a break or that you would spend some time apart. And that maybe you are actually in communication with each other still. Sorry, I had to jump up, then I started getting cramp in my leg. So maybe that you're still in communication with each other, or and that might be like I just got in my head then that might be a weird thing, because it might be that maybe you've parted ways, but one or both of you decided that you were going to try and 1 minute, sorry. So you may have parted ways, and one or both of you may like really keep in contact still. Now this could be a mutual thing. This could be where one is bothering the other, so we'll see. We'll get an idea anyway in a minute of what's what. But there's thinking going on. There's I almost want to say, and I don't know whether it's you or whether it's them or a bit of both, that maybe you want to back off a bit and give someone time to miss you. It's almost like kind of while you've got people in your ear, even if it's the other person, and the kind of chirping away in your ear, you can't make up your mind, or someone can't make up their mind what they want to do. They're not having a chance to miss someone, perhaps. So there may be something like that going on. So it may be worth kind of cutting communication altogether or dialing it down a notch just to give someone a chance to miss you, or vice versa. But if it is vice versa, unless you tell that to them, they're not going to know that, are they? So it might be that you have to communicate that to them. You know, I'm not even getting a chance to miss you. You're just kind of constantly on me all the time. So there might be something like that as well. I have done a test. I don't have COVID. I have no idea where. I don't usually get coughs or anything. I don't know where this is coming from. Okay. So how do they feel about you? We have the Ace of Wands. How do they feel about getting back together with you? We have the Knight of Cups. What is the likelihood of you getting back together? We have the Six of Wands. Is getting back together for your highest good? We have the Knight of Pentacles. Will it last if you get back together with this person? We have the Five of Cups. And the advice here is the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting I'm getting the impression that one is either trying to keep more in contact with the other, or one is more eager for something to come back together than the other. I mean, how do they feel about you? They're very passionate about you, but this is like a Wands card, isn't it? So they're very passionate about you. But when we think of the Wands card, and especially the Ace of Wands, we think of like we can think of it in terms of a sexual energy. So they may be very passionate about you in a sexualized kind of way. So you may have started out, excuse me again, friends with benefits or something like that. Or just been a connection that kind of came together and was casual, and that might be how they view you within the situation. They may see you as someone that they like having fun with, shall we say. So they do think about you passionately, fondly, and they do have some kind of excitement and drive there, but it's, as I say, it's a Wands card. Now, if this was the Ace of Cups, we'd be saying that they're full of emotion for you. They are full of passion for you. But it's like, what kind of passion is that? And I feel like maybe you will know. You'll have some kind of idea, you know, maybe from how the relationship has played out or the connection has played out, whether you feel like they see you more in a fun type of way or not. But they may that may be how they're seeing you. They may also feel very passionate about you by way of like wanting to connect with you, wanting to sort of, you are something that they are wanting to connect with, and wanting someone that you are wanting to connect, they're wanting to connect with, and who they're wanting to kind of chase down and go after. They see a possibility, but again, it's more of a fun type energy. So it's like, if that's not what you're after, if you're not just after connecting with someone to have fun and you're actually looking for love and a relationship, if that energy comes in, just be aware of what you may be kind of getting yourself into in that respect. And I say that because with the next card out, which is how do they feel about getting back together with you, we have the Knight of Cups. And we all think that we want the Knight of Cups. We all think that the Knight of Cups is, you know, the dreamer. This is the emotional guy. This is girl or guy. This is the lover, the one that gets into their emotions, that gets feelings. And they do. But this is a knight. This is not a king or a queen. This is this kind of energy. When we think of the Knight of Cups, we've got to remind ourselves that the Knight of Cups is the type of person who is in love for as long as they are in love. And if something doesn't meet their expectation of perfection, which nothing and nobody ever will, then they will be easily distracted or have their head turned by the next shiny new thing. And this kind of person can be somebody that may not want to hurt your feelings. They may not want to hurt your feelings. They may not want to come across in any way intentionally to hurt you. I mean, it is intentional if someone's behaving like that, but it's not intentional from their point of view. And when they think about coming back together with you, they're coming back in that energy. And I always think in the Knight of Cups, it's a very flighty energy. It's a very fly by the seat of the pants kind of energy as far as attraction and excitement and love goes. I mean, I don't even know if she is, but somebody that I don't know. Cheryl Cole reminds me of a Knight of Cups energy. She's somebody that bounces from one relationship to the next, to the next, to the next, and that's the kind of person it is. And it's almost like they're almost getting another bed warm before they've even really walked away from this one. And it's that kind of energy. So when they see you coming towards you, they may be coming in emotionally driven on a high from excitement, but how long is it going to last? So they may come in towards you, they may come towards you, but again, how long is it going to last? You need to be careful, or at least establish what kind of connection this is, what is expected of both of yous. If it does come back together, what is expected of both of yous? If they're coming in and they're offering emotion, then they need to voice up and say that they are in it, with the emotion, with the passion, that they're in it, and that they intend to be in it for the long haul and not just in for a while. It's a bit of excitement for them. So what's the likelihood of you getting back together? We've got the Six of Wands. This is the Victory card. Yes, it's also a Wands card though as well. So it's a victory after usually a battle. When we think of the Five of Wands, it's a victory usually after a battle, and it's a victory nonetheless, but it's also a one card. It's also a very fly by the seat of the pants, feisty kind of in the moment energy, and it may come together in like an explosive way. If you get back together, it may be like you've not seen each other for a while, you come back together and it's like it's brand new, isn't it, for a little while, and it's all like dead passionate and explosive, but then it never seems to stay that way. It kind of filters back to what it may have been before when you broke up. There's a point where it may turn back to that, so it may come back together and it may seem explosive and fantastic, but especially with this Five of Cups down here, it may be something that's very short-lived, a short-lived victory. And when we think of like the traditional Six of Wands, it's like the guy's prancing through on his horse with his laurel wreath up in the air, being adorned by everybody, and it's like, yeah, he's obviously won at something, he's being celebrated, but the party doesn't last forever, so there's that energy. So be aware of that. Be aware of it comes in, and it comes in really fast and really furious and like kind of explosive. Be aware of it, because it's one of those, the party can't last forever. So it's getting back together for your highest good. I'll be honest, I'm going to say probably not. I think there's things that you're going to learn from it. I think there's things that you are going to eventually learn from the situation. And when we think of the King of Pentacles, this is somebody that's got to where they are and become successful off the back of many failures. And I feel like this situation is something that's going to get you to a point, somehow, some way, of being grounded and stable and not accepting anything less and not involving yourself in anything that's fly by the seat of the pants. It's going to have you analysing people properly before you go jumping in, or before you go running away with yourself and letting your emotions run away with themselves. This is going to be a lesson for you to get you to a place where you are more stable, where you are more grounded, and where you are more fussy about what you allow and who you allow around and with you. Yeah, I don't think it is. I think it is. I think it would be, in the sense that it would get you to this place, but I feel like you're going to be heading to this place anyway. So do you really need the drama of something that is potentially going to really fizzle out really fast? It's going to come in fast and furious and it's going to fizzle out just as quick. Do you really need that? Can you not just recognize the patterns in people, or the way that people behave and how you respond, and the situations that you may put yourself in, where you've not read the room, where you've not established that this is what we're doing, and you've just let it kind of go along with itself and not know where everybody stands in a situation? Would it not be better just to kind of get yourself on that part in the first place? And then if this person wants to come about to you in a different attitude, not driven by passion, not driven by lust, if you will, if they want to come back to you in a different attitude, in a grown-up attitude, then maybe you could consider moving forward with them. Will it last if you get back together? I mean, I feel like there's going to be something that comes in really fast and furious, as I say. And to me, it feels with this Five of Cups here, this feels like, you know, we're learning to kind of release things. And it may be that you have to go through a scenario again with this person before you learn and before you move forward in a new direction, because you're obviously mourning and pining after what has gone. You're obviously pining after what has gone, and not being able to move on from it. And maybe you really need to get back into a situation to be able to establish, why have I done this to myself again, before you can start kind of growing yourself and moving yourself and elevating yourself away from these kind of energies. Also, though, will it last if you get back together? I think if you could learn to be more discerning about the people that you allow around you, even this person, if you don't go rushing in with them, if you hold back and don't allow them to come in all suave and love bombing you and getting carried away with that because they're showing you, you know, so much attention or anything like that. If you don't allow yourself to get carried away like that and they come back to you in a different attitude or from a different stance, wanting something different, then it could be something that goes long term. Because when we think of the Three of Cups, it's like kind of releasing that what no longer serves us to move on to the new. And this could well be your Two of Cups. This could well be your person, but you've got to teach this person how you expect to be treated. You shouldn't have to. They should be grown enough to know this, but it's almost like you've got to teach this person how you expect to be treated. And I think if you can get yourself to a place where you have standards about how you will be treated, on what you will partake in, then you might move this from like the regret or from the, I mean, when we think of the Three of Cups as well, which is usually spilled over in this card, this is like kind of party time, isn't it? So it could be moving it away from the fun and games to something serious, to something connected and committed, where you're both coming from the same standpoint and you both want the same things. There is a possibility that you could move it there. But I don't think if you get swept along with it and then they're off again and you've got it, there's almost like you've got to create boundaries you're not going to be willing to allow people to cross. So your advice, the advice for you is Knight of Pentacles. Take it slow. Take it very slow. Weigh up your options. Take it slow. Consider it, do the work on yourself, get yourself to a place where they're going to have to work for you and want to commit to you, because the Knight of Pentacles will not put themselves into something or commit to something that's not in it with them 100%. That's not for their highest good. They take the time out to establish who is this person? Is this person for me? Are they going to be beneficial for me down the road? Are they in it for the long term or the short term? And this is who the Knight of Pentacles is, and this is who you need to become. This is who you need to become. This is the traits that you need to display. And when you start doing this work, you will eventually grow to the point where you're at the King of Pentacles stage, where you, if it's not leveling up to you, you ain't dropping yourself down to it. So do I feel like they want to come back? I do. At the moment, do I feel like they want to come back for the right reasons? Absolutely not. And do I think that they'll stick around? Not if you don't establish boundaries. Not if you don't establish boundaries. If you establish the boundaries and you put in this work here, and even if that means them going, oh, I don't want to deal with you right now, and they'll back away from you, they will eventually level up to you. If they are truly 100% interested in you, in any way, shape or form, they will level themselves up to you. So if they back off a bit, let them back off and then let them come to you. Don't you chase. Don't you chase, and don't you lower your standards to be toyed with by someone. Don't put yourself in a position to be toyed with by someone. Okay, I'm going to leave that one there. Thank you. Alright, so this one's for Virgo, and it's the X return. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether, because the camera's like it's just above me here, right in front of my face, basically. And I don't know whether, because it's so near my eyes, it's messing with my eyes, because my eyes keep going fuzzy while I'm sat here, and I've never had that while I've been working here before, but I usually have the mount way off to the side, so I'm wondering if I'm going to have to move this. really weird. It's like, I don't know if it's because it's so close to my face, but then I'm trying to look at something down here, whether it's really messing with me eyes. So Virgo, we have the Three of Cups jumping out. And I'm going to start coughing again, aren't I? 1 minute, let me clear my throat. Right, so the Three of Cups. So this can speak of celebration. It can speak of a reunion of groups, growth and stuff like that. It can also speak of like third parties. There may be a celebration on the horizon. There may be something on the horizon where you may be coming back together with someone. Or this is speaking to maybe there was a third party situation that you were involved in. So there's those kind of energies that are quite present. So how do they feel about you? We have the Star. How do they feel about getting back with you? We have the Eight of Pentacles. I'm sure these cards came out for another one. What is the likelihood of you getting back together? The Seven of Pentacles. Is getting back together with this person for your highest good? We have the Tower. Will it last if you get back together? We have the Two of Pentacles. And the advice to you is the Seven of Wands. Okay. Now, when we think of third parties and when we speak of third parties, that doesn't necessarily mean another love interest. That could be other people that are getting involved, butting in, family members, people naysaying, people not wanting people to be together, causing trouble. It can be stuff like that. So what they think of you, they see you as their guiding light. They may see you as their one, as their light, somebody who was there for them or somebody they could turn to in times of need. You may have been someone that came to them at a time when their life was falling apart, when things were going wrong for them. You may have been somebody that pulled them out of a depression or a dark place. They feel like you light up their world. They feel connected with you and they feel like it's divinely guided and like it's kind of written in the stars. They may have spoke about things like that with you before, about like kind of soulmates or twin flames and stuff like that. They may have conversed with you on that level or spoke to you in terms of like where you may have been more to them than they've felt more for you than they've ever felt for anybody else, and they may have spoke to you in terms of that kind of like depth. And how do they feel about getting back with you? We have the Eight of Pentacles. They want to put work into something. We get another kind of hint to a constellation again back here. They want to put work into something. They do want to put work into something. And I feel like they want to put work into something with you. I feel like there may have been an interference in the situation. And I feel like there may still be, or would continue to be, interference within a situation. I can't help noticing that it's the same sex couple on the card, so I don't know whether it is the same sex or whether it are different races or different backgrounds, and people just, people just didn't want to see us together for some reason, and it caused an issue. It caused a divide. but I feel like they want to work through whatever that is. So I don't know who pulled away from who initially. This is almost like, you know, when they think about getting back with you and how they feel about getting back with you, is almost like if we put the effort and energy into it, if we put our all into it, it will be successful, we will succeed. And it's all about mastering action and accomplishment, number 8. So it's almost like they feel like they want to succeed at something with you. So what's the likelihood of you getting back together? And we have the 7 of Pentacles here. If you are willing, both willing, I can't help notice on this card that one's got the back to the other, arms crossed, looking down. This one's kind of got the hands on the shoulders. I feel like maybe one person pulled away. One of you's pulled away from the other one. There's a feeling with this card of, did we do everything that we could do? Was enough done? Did we actually put enough effort? Did we nurture the connection enough? Did we put in the time and effort to make it what it should have been? There's that feeling from this card, and I feel like if you could you'd both have to be in that energy where you're both willing to put in the hard work, and it would be hard work to nurture and grow something. Then it has all the hallmarks that it could then grow to the 8, to the 9, to the 10. It has all the hallmarks of that, but it's whether you decide, you know, you could be thinking, I've put so much time, effort and energy into it, and I feel like it's got me nowhere, and I don't really want to pour energy into it anymore. Or they could be feeling this. I feel like if you could speak or find out where each other is, and figure out who is the one that's pulling away, who is the one that wants to come back. And I feel like maybe they might have pulled away from you in the end, because you wouldn't be here watching a reading about your ex coming back if you weren't that interested in whether they would. It may be that one of you's pulled away from the other, and you both now feeling like the other wouldn't be interested, but still feeling that cosmic tie to each other. I feel like if you both put the work in, if you both take the action necessary, you could come back together. This is all about that. It's possibilities for this. The 7s are about like assessment and reflection and knowledge, and it's learning, like, where did it go wrong? It's being able to be open and honest with each other about where it went wrong, what went wrong, how can we move forward, how can we change it, how can we make sure that never happens again. It's being able to be that way inclined with each other. And I feel like with this card here, it's almost like the likelihood of you getting back together, it's all going to depend on whether you're willing to put any effort into each other. I get the feeling somebody may be being stubborn. Or you may feel like somebody's being stubborn. Or if you've just parted ways, that you both are not sure. You both think the other one was done and that was it, and there's no going back. But you'd have to take the steps to create that kind of connection again, to get something working again. So is getting back together this person for your highest good? We have the Tower card. And I don't initially see this as a negative. I feel like there was a lesson to be learned. And when I was thinking in terms of like cosmic connections and soulmates, twin flames and things like that, when I think of things like that, and we think about the Tower coming in, and in that respect, yeah, the Tower coming down is for your highest good. It is lessons that you need to learn. And when we think of twin flames and soulmates, these are people that come into our lives to teach us lessons. They're people that come into our lives to trigger us off, to get us beyond our own ego and pride, to elevate us, to make us grow as people. And sometimes the only way to do that is through going through hardship and learning the lesson from it, and being able to learn the lesson from it. I feel like this person was a lesson for you in the respect that you're supposed to learn, grow, and come back together. However, will it last if you come back together? With this Two of Pentacles here in this position, I feel like, will it last if you come back together? I feel like it's a twin flamey soulmate kind of connection. And I feel like it's one of those connections that's going to kind of come and go, and they can be, I mean, some of the hardest, worst connections that you could ever get into with someone, because you're just triggering each other off, learning lessons, going apart, learning lessons, coming back together. Then something else will come up and you have to either, and we keep going through the cycle until we learn, right? We don't have to keep splitting up. We don't have to keep going through this. Let us grow. Let us move on from these situations. Let us learn to work together as one. Let us learn to come together as one and not keep getting tied up into the pettiness. And that's what you're trying to grow from. That's the growth that is being encouraged in these situations. So with this Two of Pentacles being here, it's almost like, well, you may stay together at this point, you may not. You know, it's up in the air. You may not. It all depends, and it goes from couple to couple. How fast you learn. Sometimes one learns faster than the other. You know, sometimes it takes one a long time to catch up, and this is where we get like the runner chaser energy when we think of these connections. I feel like it's up in the air. It's literally up in the air. It's something that's going to be up in the air, and it may be that you come together and split up with this person time and time again. Or if this is a connection where you feel like it is just too much, it's just too because it can be painful. If you feel like it's just too painful, some people just decide, right, this was a very painful lesson and it was written in the stars, but I can't do this, and choose to walk away. So it's up in the air. Would it last? It's up in the air. It's whether, I feel like this is something that could come back together. It's down to whether you're prepared to do the work to come back together and put the work into growing from the situation. You would also, when I think of third party people interfering, have to be, with the advice card, prepared to stand strong together. You have to learn to stand strong together, that you're a team, that you take on. You don't allow outside influences to come and affect and impede into your lives, that you keep people at bay, that, and you don't allow that. And this is, with this being an advice card, this is almost like learning that if you're with someone and you've got someone's back, then you're a team, you're a unit. Doesn't mean you won't do each other's heads in, but you don't let other people come in, spoiling and messing with the relationship. And this is, I think this may be a lesson that you've both got to learn. This is something that you've both got to do. But do I feel like they're going to come back? I feel like they could come back. I feel like it's one of those, either or of you could actually make this come back together. But you have to not be too defensive with each other. Remember that you're a unit, you're a team. And make time for each other. There's this element as well that you may struggle to make time for each other, or one of you is maybe more busy than the other, and it's like remembering that you are a unit, you are a team, you are meant to make time for each other. Do I get, and I don't really, with the sorry, with the amount of pentacle cards here, you know, this could it come back together? It could take a while to come back together. Pentacles are very slow moving energy. It could take a while to come back together, and that might be because someone's being stubborn, or one or both of you feel like someone's being stubborn, or you're being stubborn against each other. So it's learning to kind of get over ourselves if we want something to work, and then making it work. They definitely do see you as someone that as they see you. I feel like they see you as their one. They see you as their one, as their guiding light, as their star. And they do have hope. They feel hope when it comes towards you. Okay, I'm going to leave that one there. Okay, so we're here to do Capricorn. So talking about Capricorn's ex now. With the Six of Swords coming out, so I mean, this could just be speaking that this is someone that you moved on from, that was a tumultuous relationship that you moved away from. This could be telling you that in regards to this situation, it may be time to move on. There may be whatever it was wasn't for your highest good, and you need to take the lessons and move yourself away from it. Go towards the light. But this could actually also be speaking to that this is somebody that you've moved away from. It may have been something that got a bit petty at some point and you moved away from it. But in hindsight, realising that maybe, you know, maybe you were both just being a bit childish in some respect, or you were young, or you was just approaching it from a wrong kind of standpoint, approaching the relationship from a wrong standpoint, and that's why it didn't work. And it's like you had to learn lessons and grow from the situation. It could be speaking to that as well, but we'll see. So how do they feel about you? We have the Seven of Wands. How do they feel about getting back to you? We have the Temperance. What is the likelihood of you getting back together with this person? We have the Wheel of Fortune. Is getting back together with this person for your highest good. We have the Page of Pentacles. Will it last if you get back together with this person? We have the Chariot. And the advice card here is the Queen of Swords. Okay, so I feel like, and I know I'm reading this like as if your ex can come back, but I feel like a lot of these readings have come across where it could, you know, take it from whatever standpoint you're in. I feel like if you didn't want to get back with your ex, you wouldn't really be watching the reading in the first place. So how do they feel about you? The Seven of Wands. I feel like they're either very defensive over you, they may feel very defensive over you. They may feel that they have to defend you in some way from others or defend your name in some way from others. So I don't know if there was something that was tumultuous and it did break up, and perhaps, you know, now in the breakup, like, you know, your friends start crap talking people and that, it could be something like that, and they're actually quite defensive over you. But I'm going to be honest, I feel like it's more so that they are defensive against you. They may feel that you've wronged them in some way. They may actually feel that you've wronged them in some way, and they feel like they've got to keep you at arm's length. They may actually be with somebody else. There may be somebody else in the picture who they may be defending against you in some way. With Temperance card here, like, how do they feel about getting back together with you? We've got the Temperance card here, and this is a card about needing balance and trying to find balance. And I feel like I'm getting pulled to this, so I'm going to say it. I feel like they may feel like you knock them out of balance a bit, and that if they may have struggled to you may have just been really, you get some people who come together and it's crazy because you come together and like you could be your person and you are their person and you're meant to be, but you just trigger each other off in such a way that you have each other all out of whack, and it becomes a very toxic, negative thing. And the idea behind connections like this is that we're supposed to kind of learn, usually split away, learn and grow, learn the errors of our ways, accept that we have errors, you know, that we have flaws and faults as well as the other person, and be able to come back together at some point in some way. I feel like they feel if they were to get back with you, they would be in a spot where they may feel like it was too tumultuous and that they may feel like it was too tumultuous and that you maybe would have them feeling out of whack again. They may be worried about how they feel when they're with you, because they could care about you deeply, but you may make them feel like anxious, or you may just rub each other up the wrong way. Because you're literally pressing on each other's triggers and setting each other off. And it feels a lot like that. And at the moment, it's like I'm almost getting like at the moment, they may be in a situation at the moment where things are quite peaceful, quite in balance. But that's for the moment. And I'll tell you for why I'm saying that, because when we see what is the likelihood of you getting back together, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and that means the wheel is turning in the favour of. It's in the upright, it's turning in the favour of. There's a high chance that you will come back together with this person. I mean, for some of you, it will be a case that they feel like they're having to defend you. You may have split up because of people interfering and it just got too much. And they may they may not have been defending you initially, or you them, and now they are feeling defensive, and now they are actually showing emotion or speaking up. So for some of you, it will be like that, and they see coming back with you as bringing in the balance. But for some of you, which is the pull that I'm getting more so, is that they feel like they need to keep you at arm's length. There may be something else that they've got going on right now, and you will knock them out of balance. It's almost like it's almost like, what I say, it's not meant to be at the moment. And I say this because of this Wheel of Fortune card here. Some things are just fated to come back around. Some things are just fated to come back around, and if they do, it doesn't have to be today, it doesn't have to be tomorrow. It could be in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, 30 years' time, in some cases that I've heard about, where people have drifted apart and then found each other after years and years and years, and they've learnt so many lessons in that time, and when they come back together, where it might have been a real bag of poo to the connection that they had, when they come back together, they see, they've learnt so many lessons from the world that when they come back together, they're grown, and it works. It comes back together and it's good. It works. So this person, I feel like it's just not for you at this time, and that's more so where I'm getting pulled to. But it is fated to come back around again, and it will do in its own time. With this Wheel of Fortune turning up here, this is almost like saying, we're not going to say they're coming back, but we're not going to tell you things to get you sitting, waiting, or pining after something. What they're telling you, which is it for your highest good for you two to come back together? There's growth to be had here. There is growth to be had here, and there is stability to be found here. You will be able to build with each other eventually. I feel like there's lessons that was going to be learned, or have been learned, will be learned from the whole situation. But I feel like, with it being a Page of Pentacles, it's going to be a long time coming. I feel like it's going to be a while. It's not going to be anything that's going to be happening in the immediate. Sorry if it's for your highest good. With this being a Page of Pentacles, I feel like it's nothing that's going to happen in the immediate. I feel like you have got a lot of growing to do. I feel like this is almost what it's saying to you. You're on the right path now. You're on the right path now. You need to move forward with your life, and not wait around for something that will come in its own due time. You need to start moving forward. And again, with the Chariot, will it last if you come back together? It will move forward. There will be a successful, victorious movement forward. It's something that will, it's like getting beyond. When we think of the Chariot card, this is like getting beyond the bullshit. Let's be honest. It's about getting beyond the bullshit. It's about learning to balance the black and the white. It's about learning to balance the masculine and the feminine, about learning to balance the energies, the good, the bad, and learning to take everything as it's, nobody's all good, nobody's all bad. Nothing's all black, nothing's all white. There are grey areas, and it's learning that and being able to get your minds focused and move forward. So would it last if you come back together? I feel like it would. It'd be a positive movement forward. There would be a positive movement forward. There would be a positive blending of the energies. But for now, the advice is this Queen of Swords. And she almost looks, I don't know if you can see her properly. My eyes keep going cross-eyed when I'm looking at this phone camera. Drop the sword. The advice for the moment is, if they're with somebody, or if they're in another situation, and you feel like they're getting away from you, and you're feeling like you've missed your boat, or you've missed your chance, you've not missed your chance, you need to just get about your own life at the minute. This needs to work itself out. Don't you interfere with anything and knock anything out of balance. Don't you do that, because you're messing with the hands of fate. Things will come back as and when they're meant to, and it will be for a positive. You will have moved forward, you would have grown from this. But drop your sword for now. Drop your sword. Let it go. Learn from it. Take in the information. Learn from it and move yourself forward. She's very intelligent, is the Queen of Swords. She's very intelligent. She learns. She hurts. Oh, does she hurt? Don't be fooled that she's just this ice queen. Drop the sword. She has been hurt. This is why she gets this demeanour of this hard-faced queen. But that's not who she is. She has feelings, and it's about not turning yourself cold as ice because of a situation that is out of your control. It's not time at the moment. You need to drop your sword, learn from it, and allow yourself to grow and move forward. But there's this feeling of drop the sword. And even if that is, and maybe you're still in communication with them in some respect, even if they're with somebody else, it's time to kind of drop it. When you drop it and you move forward and you allow yourself to move on, that might possibly be when this comes back around. Because when you were removed from the situation, this might just naturally crumble by itself if they're already with somebody else. And then it will spur on this wheel spinning and coming back together. But I feel at the moment it's just not time for you. Okay, I'm going to leave that one there. Thank you.